Thanks for coming along, guys. Just to give you a bit of background about how I come to be interested in this kind of information. And basically my interest dates back to when I was at high school, because I didn't do that well in my high school exams for a variety of reasons. And one of them was that we weren't taught anything like this. So I didn't get any of this information until much later, when I got to university as an adult student. And when I started to find out about all of these tips and techniques and strategies and apply them, I started to get really good results. And so I realized that doing well in exams, it's not so much about how naturally smart you are, it's all about preparation. So what I want to offer you today is a strategy to prepare for the upcoming exams. You can use it like a 5-step approach, that the moment you come and sit down and you study, you follow these 5 steps, you'll be making the best use of your time. Or if you're already getting good results and you just want to fine-tune some of your preparation strategies, I want to build in solutions to common challenges that we have as we're moving towards exams. You know, challenges like, hands up, does anyone here have trouble getting motivated to study in terms of motivation? Yeah? Anyone find themselves getting distracted easily? I used to have that all the time. You know, you do a little bit and then you're distraction onto walking the dog, getting something nice to eat, playing a game on the phone. What about leaving things to the last minute? Who has that? Procrastination? Yeah. Sometimes, you know, what do we actually do with our notes? And in terms of actually, how do we study these? I used to just read my notes over and over as a way to prepare. Who does that as a strategy to prepare? Repetition. If you're doing that, stop, okay? It's really slow. It's not actually that helpful. I discovered that there's much better ways to rehearse content other than just reading notes. It's too slow. And as you're moving into NCEA, you need to figure out how to speed this up a bit. So what we do with our class notes, and then, you know, in memory retention, again, you used to have trouble with those. So any of those common challenges that you have, I want to give you solutions built within this 5-step approach. Quick overview of what we're going to look at. The first step I call releasing your potential. Essentially what it does, if you have an understanding of what actually happens inside your head when you're trying to learn something new, and the same with revising, and this actually applies with maybe you're learning your sports or your music or drama. Who's got new classes this year? Hands up. Who's got new classes where you're going into receiving new information nearly every class? Yeah, a lot of us. So you're receiving information. If you have an understanding of how this brain learns, and then how to think in ways that improve a performance, useful to think of an exam as a performance, you can really take your results to a whole nother level. So this first approach actually can be applied to any area of your life, not just exams. Sports, music, drama. Maybe there's a next X Factor contestant who's going to be singing on stage to the whole country in this room. So it's really performance psychology. Okay? The next steps do relate to study, and one of the things I say is if you can relax first, deliberately relax before you underdo any homework, any assignments, any study, revising for exams, your brain becomes a lot more receptive to information. And I'll explain how it's really useful. If you can do some relaxation strategies, your brain becomes more receptive, speeds up how fast you can retain information and recall it under the pressure of exams. Again, these steps are going to help you save time. Next one is looking at what do I actually do with my class notes. And as I say, if you're just reading your notes over and over, it's really slow. Repetition is a very slow form of memory retention. We've got to speed this up. So this step is around figuring out if I could just take like one phrase or even down to one word out of a paragraph of information. And I know if I remember that one word, I will be able to rewrite that whole idea in an exam. This is what this step is about. It's about condensing down your class notes, because you get so much information in year 11, 12, 13, going through more and more and more every year. So you've got to figure out how to condense down your class notes to make new notes that you can study from. And these new notes tend to be much more visual in nature, more like pictures and patterns. And I'll explain how, if you understand how your memory works, so repetition is one principle, but there's a whole bunch of other principles that if you know about, it's amazing how fast you can retain information. So I'm going to show you some strategies in here about how to retain information. We're going to do a little memory test. We're going to test ourselves in this. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of information once I've shown you this technique. It's called the location method. And then the last step is practicing our recall, practicing our understanding of content, building up our confidence so you know you can really remember it, retain it, understand it, go into the exams. And also how you want to be on the day. I'll talk about how to practice in terms of your performance, how to practice in your mind in terms of mental rehearsal or visualization. It's a really useful skill to reducing exam nerves. So those are the 5 steps. I'm going to get you up and move around a little bit. Going to do a bunch of activities. Going to show you a few funny slides, a few videos. We're going to take little breaks along the way where you can just switch off, chat amongst yourselves. We're going to take a longer break in the middle. I've got some juggling balls down here and this big bag here. I want to demonstrate how to learn to juggle. Does anyone here know how to juggle already? Anyone learned? Yeah? Fantastic. Might get you up to give us a demonstration later. So learning how to juggle. Lots of breaks, lots of activities. Take this with you. So everything that's on here is in here. So take this with you. Look at it in the days and the weeks to come, and as you're moving into next term's exams. And hopefully you've got something useful, and we've had a bit of fun along the way. All right? So that's what's in store.